Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your ever-loving host, Shorty, and today we're checking out something new from AWA Upshot. Those fellas right there. It's Primos, or Primos. Not 100% sure how the pronunciation of that one goes. I do apologise. If the creators see this video, feel free to get in contact and correct me. I honestly do not mind being correct on this kind of thing. Speaking of creators, we've got Al Madrigal, Carla Barbera, and Brian Reber taking over all the various duties, and they do a really good job. I don't want to say a perfect job. There's a couple of issues early on that are worth talking about. Artwork-wise, as an overall thing, it is genuinely brilliant artwork. There's a couple of things which just were a bit odd. Like this shot at the front there, you see those three people like making up this superhero team kind of thing there? There they are again in a quite similar pose, all three of them hanging out. There they are again in a couple of poses, but a bit more action and motion. That just like felt unnecessary to have that repetitive kind of framing there. Yeah, I get that you've got a brand new team and you're going to show them off. Totally don't really blame you. The character design on it is absolutely brilliant. It looks like these are people who were kind of told they would be superheroes after already living quite a interesting life anyway, and made the decision to get dressed up kind of as superheroes, but without going to just a fancy dress shop. They went to like indie alternative boutiques and milsup places and picked some stuff which just looked badass and looks very, very cool. There's a bit of a reference to Guy Liner which made me smile. But then, yeah, great stuff. But then this pose here, both arms at trail, head facing forward, you can tell that because she's in profile. Hips facing forward, you can just about see the belly button there, but upper body twisted around so we can see both of the boobs. Feels kind of weird. My first thought was maybe she's twisting to get ready for a strike, but if you're going to drop one arm to do it, you're going to bring the other one forward. It's just kind of a balance issue. The more I looked at that, the more I was like, that's an odd posing choice. But then later on, we get introduced to mystical time-traveling Mayan sorcerer who looks absolutely brilliant. Let me see if I can get this. Sorry, jumped a bit too far ahead there. Let me go back a page. Yeah, looks absolutely brilliant. Superb character design, including like the overcoat thrown on the top of that, but the detailing on the headdress from two different angles. Yeah, love it. Overall artwork, fantastic. Just a few little issues which stopped it getting like a perfect 10 out of 10. Story-wise, there's a similar kind of thing. It feels like they were doing a big origin story. There's quite a bit of exposition, but it's really well done. And there's like 2.5 origin stories going on in it. The 0.5 is that team, like the ones on the front cover there. After that fight at the beginning, which is then explained to have been happening at some point, and we're now going to start at the beginning of the story, we never get to the point where that team gets together. You get a little bit of background on who they are, but not much. And it feels like there's still something left to be desired on that one. Mostly it's the origin story of main character Ricky, which is very well handled. You get his life pre-magic craziness, and you get some family drama as well. You get introduced to various people in his life, and it's all written quite well. There's also stuff just like randomly on the street and encountering people, which is very, very cool. The most part of it, though, is actually the origin of where he gets his powers, which involves flashback from Mayan sorcerer who turns up, and that is brilliant, like really cool. It flips a racist idea on its head in a really effective way. For people who are not aware, there's probably an awful lot of you have heard stories of, or conspiracy theories, should I say, that places like Maya and Dinkel Society and even the Egyptians, no way they could have actually created their architectural marvels without white European help, which they clearly didn't have, so it must be aliens. You've probably all heard this and probably had some fun with the idea of it. It's racist because it's basically saying that without white help, there's no way they can do it. These people are savages. They're not civilized. They must have had some kind of supernatural help. Nothing else makes sense. This one, these people literally have a spaceship hundreds of years ago and go and speak to lots of other interstellar Mayan civilizations. Brilliant idea. Totally flips it and there's a lot of fun with it. There's also some nice little beats of writing throughout it as well. I do not really speak much in the way of South American or Latinx languages. I have smatterings, a little bit. I'm trying to pick up some Spanish. But there's interesting bits where they're swearing. And there's a word for, I can't remember, when you replace the letters with other symbols, hashtags, at symbols, and that kind of thing. They do it like, let's say, the F word. They'll do the F-U-C-K replaced with things and then E-R or I-N-G. There's times they do that with, I think, Spanish swear words that I don't know. So it doesn't really make much sense exactly, but you do get a sense of what's happening. Very nice little trick there to basically bring in that kind of cultural thing. And it is important that this is a cultural thing. They do have a lot of touchstones for this one. I think something like just the character's background, the response to the people he meets on the street, the huge cultural background of Interstellar Mayans, all done really, really well, and it all comes together really quite nicely. In the back matter, the creator does talk, Al Madrigal does talk about how important it is to have this kind of voice there. I have seen Latinx artists quite often. They have really, really good careers, but you don't often see the writers, or if you do, you don't see them telling their own society's stories. They are just doing other people's superheroes or whatever. And it does need to change. It's really nice to see. And he does make a point that this is what he's doing. And I'm really glad they've done it. And I'm glad they've done it in a way which is entertaining and fun as well. And it's superheroes. Who doesn't like superheroes? That's it from me today, though. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.